Good evening guys, Harden here, back with another Eve Echoes video. Just a quick one. I'm going to be running some Abyss with a Corp Mate. This is with my 3 Ravens and Raven Navies and a Corp Mate in a Rogue with no Logi. Basically we're just doing it on the DPS front. You can see here I've actually just set this ship up for the Abyss. I just need to check on my other accounts so I don't make any mistakes, that I've refueled. I just done that one there. Let me just check this one here. Refuel, yes. Basically the setup here is 7 large missile launchers. I do have a few Pith B types on there. I think it's about 5, and then the low slots, because again we're not using Logi, it's quite a tanky setup, so it's 1 large shield booster, 2 red hardeners, and then also the mid slots are completely with remote capacitor booster and remote shield, and then I've also added a damage control onto this, which it does come in handy towards the end when you start popping those towers, and 2 ballistic control. So it's not a full DPS fit and it's not a full tank fit. It's kind of a hybrid, but it does work quite well. I'm just going to undock quickly here because I need to kind of just turn on my siege mode before I go into the Abyss, and I also need to is that undocking? No, let's try again. So I am running 3 accounts here, so I do apologize in advance if things don't go smooth or you're not seeing stuff happening on my screen, but hopefully this will give you a good idea of how the Raven Navy can do in Abyss. So hold on a second, I'm going to have to quickly sort my mods here. Let me just stop my ship, and let's see if I can get this. I think it's 5 and 2. I'm going to put the 2 on the back. Maybe it's on there. No. Yeah, so it's 5 B types. I'm going to take the AI off and put the siege mode on. I'm going to bring these onto the front. Okay. I'm going to put this in the back, bring this forward, this, this, and this. Abyss is quite frantic, so I find it's a lot easier to actually set things up beforehand, because you don't want to go in and then start having to mess around with your modules. I find that's a bit crazy. Okay, so here what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn on my siege mode, and let me then jump into the fitting, and then you can see now in this format that the Raven Navy has 4,424 cold DPS with the siege mode on, which works perfectly well in Abyss because you're shooting kind of objects that are not moving. So see, this is one of the kind of few times that siege mode on the Raven actually does work properly. I could turn on the EM mode on my implant. It does increase the DPS by about 200, but I actually have a lot of bonuses to kinetic and thermal on my implant, which you actually lose when you turn on the EM mode, and I find that it does actually, while the shield does disappear extremely quickly, it does seem to slow down quite a bit on the armor and the structure, which particularly the structure, when you're trying to kind of rush to kill those towers at the end, I would rather be able to go through the armor, through the structure a little bit quicker than through the shield. Because again, it's a lot more critical at the end to kill things quickly than it is just to chew through the shield at the start. All right, so I think that is set up. The only other thing I'm going to do, again, this is just preparation on my behalf, is I'm going to add my 2 alts to the squad here, so you can see they're set as followed. So when you go into the Abyss, you can, if you need to go and orbit or whatever, they're on your screen. I find it's just easy to set that up in advance. And the only other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite my corporation mate who's waiting into the fleet. Invite. Hold on 1 second. Corporation. Here, 1 second. And as I said, my alliance mate or corp mate is going to be flying a Rogue, and we're going to run through some level 9 Abyss. Let's see if I can find him here. Oh, here we go. Zankin 2. I'll add him to the squad. Okay, I'm going to dock up now. and I will change the squad to change the fleet to a Dormant Realms fleet. Okay, so let's move this up here. Okay, Dormant Realm, and yeah, hang on, no, I need to change the fleet window first. Apologies for any delays. I'm just going to add him here, set as followed, and then I'm going to change the fleet to a Dormant Realm fleet, like that. Confirm. I hope I haven't forgotten anything, because it does get quite frantic. One final thing to point out is I am multi-boxing. So that means like I'm a lot slower in terms of locking up all the towers, that kind of process, because I have to do it on 3 separate accounts. So again, it's much more efficient to do Abyss if you've got like 4 actual real players, as opposed to a multi-box doing it, because a multi-box has got to do lots of different things on all the accounts, so it's probably a little bit slower as a result of that. But I just thought I would show you how we do level 9 without a Logi, using just Raven Strikers and Rogues. Alright, here we go. Let's go into the Dawn Realm. My friend is ready. I'm going to go into Before the Abyss. Enter. Again, I hope I haven't forgotten anything. Let's go for difficulty 9. Confirm. I need to move this out of the way. I'm just wondering what the environmental effects are today, to show it here. Environmental effects. I don't know if I click on it. Oh, it's cannon damage, so that's not really going to help me with my missiles. So now I'm going to invite my colleagues. So invite, sorry, my alts and my alliance mate. And see, that's work, calling everyone colleagues. All right. And he has clicked ready already, so I'm going to click ready on one account, and I'm going to click ready on the other account. So everybody's ready, so in we go. Enter. So this is a little bit stressful. I hope you can't tell in my voice, because it's one of those things where without Logi, doing level 9 can be quite interesting. You have to kind of make sure everything goes perfectly, or you can easily kind of lose your ships. Okay, I'm zoomed in like a crazy there. So first thing I'll do is activate my tank on all of my accounts. That's that done, and then I am going to change to vital target on my overview. So again, I haven't actually started locking anything yet. I'm still kind of playing around doing alt stuff. Apologies, the sound is a bit different. It's just I'm changing. So now here I'm going to start locking. Okay, that's one account locked. That's the second account locked. That's the third account locked. And so now what I'm going to do is this one hits targets tower 2, this one hits tower 6, and this one hits tower 4. Okay, so I'm actually shooting now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to orbit Second Mary there, because for some reason, I don't know why, they always love to target Second Mary. And I'm going to orbit here. And I'm going to orbit here as well, just to make sure. Okay, so we're still going through the shield extender. I know that, again, when people are flying, like not in a group, when they're flying as individuals, they will often focus a particular tower down and burn through that shield extender. But again, it's very hard when you're multi-boxing to do that. So what I tend to do is I hit the 3 towers furthest away first. I switch to the closer towers, and then I switch back to the further towers and kill those first, and then kill the closer towers. So yeah, as I said, I hit 2, 4, and 6. Now you can see here 2. I think my courtmate is hitting 2 as well. I have to be a bit careful. No, my courtmate is hitting 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to number 1. Once this one gets down to structure, you can see a very nice hit there, 42,000. Again, you know I'm not using my ballistics yet. So I'm going to switch very shortly over to tower 1 on this one. Okay, there we go. So switch tower 1, focus fire. I hope I don't kill that by mistake. And then my other account is going to switch to tower 3. And finally this account is going to switch to tower 5. I'm quite wondering why Second Mary is actually taking quite so much damage already at this stage. Okay, so I just need to be careful with my number 3 tower because my corp mate has been shooting that already, so I just need to be careful I don't accidentally kill that too quickly. I think what I'll do is I will switch my number 3 onto number 5. Yeah, because that's one's lagging. Okay, so my number 3 is switching to number 5. Okay, so this one here, I'm going to leave it on here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to then select tower 2. So when that one dies, it will automatically go back to tower 2. This one, after tower 6 goes down, will switch back to tower 4. And this one will switch, tower 5 will switch onto tower 6. Okay, so once the first tower goes down, that's when I hit. Let me just check my other one. Oh, I'm on half shields on that other account. Okay. So when these towers start going down, I am... Alright, so now I'm going to turn on my ballistic, and I'm going to turn on both my... Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the problem is here with Second Mary. They really are all focusing on her. This would be embarrassing. I've shown you the first time here. Okay, there we go. They are popping quickly. The ballistic control on Second Mary has just run out, so you can see that was very handy there for keeping her safe. And it should be okay. We're on to the last tower, and we're at 430. We did it a bit faster last week, so it's a little bit slower today. I'm not quite sure why. There we go. Second Mary, everyone's okay. Looks like it. They did seem to focus on Second Mary, but as you can see, has it gone down? Am I missing something? Or it's just taking its time. Okay, that was 448, so a little bit slower than last time. As I said, with no Logi, I think it's possible if I had another really high DPS person with me that we could possibly do 10 using this kind of self-tank method, but it would be risky if any kind of mistakes were made. I'm a bit concerned, I don't know why, but this is about 30 seconds slower than when I did this last time. I don't know, it might be one of the bonuses, but let's try again so you can get to see this again. We'll jump in. Let's go Dormant Realm. The nice thing about the Abyss is you can do them quite quickly. So before the Abyss, enter. Again, up to number 9, confirm. Invite the other members of the team. Invite. Confirm. Confirm. All right, my court mate, is he ready? Yeah, he said ready. So ready. Ready. And in we go. Yeah, I'm not. As I said, I'm not quite sure why it took that bit longer. Again, maybe I'm not. Maybe talking to doing this video is actually slowing me down a little bit. But we'll see. Let's see if it goes a bit smoother this time. It's a bit annoying that it's so zoomed in. Okay, let me get my tank on anyway, because it doesn't really matter about how zoomed it is or not, as long as the tank is on and I'm shooting. And then my tank on all of them is on. And then let's get the vital targets up. Vital target. Vital target. And finally vital target. And then let's start looking at the towers. As you can see, this does take doing it with multi-boxing does take a bit of extra time, so it's definitely not ideal for the Abyss where you have to kind of rush. You're on this timer. It does slow things down quite a bit. So again, it does make me think that if I was actually an individual and I had 4 individuals in similar setup ships, then we could probably do level 10. Okay, focus fire on number 4. And focus fire on number 6. So all my ships are hitting. I'm going to orbit. I'm going to orbit all my own ships here. So I'm going to orbit that one, and I'm going to orbit that one. So again, you can see just going through the shield extender. As I said, if I was a bit more efficient, I could probably focus one tower and get that out of the way at the beginning here, but this kind of works, so Don't want to mess it too much. You can see these are the Raven issues. You can see I'm already almost through the shield on that tower number 6, whereas my corp mate who's using the rogue, who's hitting tower number 5, he hasn't got through half the shield yet, and like on tower 6 the shield's already gone. I need to be careful because that's the one I'm going to have to change first, because he's obviously going to get the tower into structure a bit quicker. So you can see what kind of hits are going in here. Oh, it's kind of balancing out now. So number 6 is going to switch to number 5, which is probably good. Okay, so the first tower is going into structure just now. Okay, so I'm going to switch him to number 5, focus fire. I'm going to switch this one to tower number 1. And I'm going to switch this one to tower number 3. Okay, so you can see now the towers, the close towers are all now in structure, and we're now working on the far away ones. Again, tower number 5, my ship hitting tower number 5, well, that's already in structure. I'm going to switch off that onto tower number 3 because I don't want to kill tower 5 too quick. I hope my corp mate also switches. And then in preparation for tower number 1 is going to hit tower number 2, so it should automatically switch over there. Tower number 3 is going to hit tower number 4, and the other tower number 3 is going to hit tower number 6. Okay, so let me have a quick look. Let's have a quick look at the tank. Everybody's tank looks okay here, hardened up to second Mary and so on. Okay, so tower number 3 is about to go down, and as I said, this is where at this point I'm going to hit the ballistic controls. So 1, 2 there, 1, 2 there, 1, 2 there, and now I'm going to put the DCU on, and DCU on that one, and DCU on that one. Now again, this is quite an important, nice feature of the Raven, the Navy Raven, is that the DCU gets an extra 10 seconds of activation time now, and for PvP, it's not relevant here, it also gets a shorter cooldown. So you can see now with that DCU, basically all 5 of those towers have basically popped in the time it took for those ballistic controls and the DCU while they were active. So you can see there that was much smoother in terms of my ships. Only one had some shield damage there, and again it was a kind of a smooth run. So again, this is the level 9 Abyss. Okay, and I'll do one more on recorded, just so you guys can get a feel for it. And again, I don't know, not everyone runs these kind of dormant realms, so it might be handy for some people to see how this works. So I'll do one more, and then we'll call it a night on this video. So before the Abyss, enter, and then again level 9, make sure I don't make a mistake with that. We are tempted to do number 10, especially when they do the missile damage environmental effect, which gives an extra 10%. I am tempted, but again, the cost of the Raven Navy, I'm sort of like, the IP is extremely expensive to replace. Let me invite everybody. Confirm. Yeah, so I didn't show you, but when these Ravens are hot, with the one ballistic it's over 5,000, and with 2 ballistics you're, well, again, I don't want to say because I can't really remember. I want to make sure I'm not giving misinformation, but it's definitely well over 5,000. I think with 2 ballistics in that, it's almost 6,000. Okay, so we're ready to go. Everyone is ready, so let's jump in here. Okay. Okay, again, very weird. Okay, so let's get my tank on. You can see the DCU hasn't refreshed, the cooldown isn't over from last time, but again, it's not necessary because we won't need to use this until the kind of last part of this. Again, let's get my vital targets set up on all 3. Oh, Oh, just misclicked there and wasted a bit of time. Vital target, vital target, vital target. Let's get everything locked. And same here. Here. For those of you who haven't done Abyss, you definitely need to use the vital targets, and you definitely have to make sure you don't accidentally target something else. Okay, so I'm going to hit tower number 2, then this one's going to hit tower number 4, and then this one is going to hit tower number 6. And just make sure my tank is on everyone, and I'm just going to orbit Second Mary, because for some reason I don't know why they really love targeting Second Mary. And that's all orbit. Again, for the Apox, orbiting is not good because basically you mess up their implants and their ability to hit targets. Let's zoom out while we've got a bit of a breathing space here. Okay, and all the shields and everything are looking okay right now. My Courtmate is hitting tower number 3 with the Rogue. Again, his DPS is quite low, but he has got like quite a tanky Rogue. I think he's got 80% resistances on everything, so that's why his DPS is a bit lower. Okay, so we're working through the shields here. Again, could go through the shields a bit quicker if I use the EM mode. And let me see, my ship on tower 6 is the one that seems to be going a bit faster here, so I just need to make sure I change that one first. Again, it's one of those things when you've got 3 ships, you just got to make sure you don't, and especially with missiles where they take a bit of time to get to the target, you have to be really careful that you don't leave it too long and then they end up killing the tower by mistake early. Alright, so number 6 is about to go into number 6, so I'm going to switch that to tower number 5. So focus fire tower number 5, and this one is going to focus tower now on number 3, and this one is going to hit number 1. Okay, so I think everything is working there. Again, the shields on all the ships are okay. You can see that all of the 3 closed towers are into structure, all kind of fairly consistent in terms of the damage that was done to them. I just need to be careful with my tower number 3 guy, because that's the one my Courtmate's hitting, that I don't accidentally kill that. I'm probably going to switch him once it's into structure onto tower number 1. Yeah, actually do that now. Tower number 1, focus fire. Okay, and then with the rest of these here, I am going to, this one is going to go back onto number 2 when tower 1 dies. This one is going to go to tower number 3, and this one is going to go to tower number 6. Okay, so that's all set up. Again, tanks are all looking very nice. And again, just wait for that first touch. It looks like tower 1 is going to go down first, and then that's the point where I will activate my DCU and then my ballistics. Okay, there we go. So DCU, DCU, DCU. This is when all the NPCs are spawning as the towers die, and then let's get the ballistics on. Again, putting both ballistics on at the same time is not optimal. I could probably spread them out a little bit more. So that one's going to go down, so I'm going to switch after that one goes down onto that one. Oh, not actually onto that one, because that's the one that's a bit left. We're on 412 here, which is pretty good. And here we go, last one. So that run was much better. It's more in line with what happened last week. So you can see 421, all the towers are down, although it always ticks on for a little bit longer. You can see the shield. There's no one in any kind of danger there. So that's level 9 Abyss with no Logi, with Raven Navy, 3 Raven Navy issues. So I don't know how that compares to Apox. I know Apox is definitely the flavor of the month in Abyss, but I would say that the Raven Navy issue, if it's properly set up now, actually is pretty competitive, certainly. And I certainly think when I get someone in Nightmare to take me, I certainly think we shouldn't have any problem with the 3 Raven Navy issues and a Nightmare completing level 10. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy that video. I hope it was kind of informative. Again, I'm still learning, so there might be something there that you think I could have done better. Please let me know. If there's any other tips you have, please let me know. And if there's any questions, if I didn't explain anything clearly here, again, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer to the best of my knowledge. I'm not like a super expert in this game. I make mistakes as well, but I know quite a lot, and I'm happy to share that with people if you have any questions. So please do like and subscribe. Take care. Good night.